Good evening and welcome out everyone to tonight's onboarding webinar. This is Coach Frank with Tackle Trading. Hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. Markets did all right. All-time highs. Can't be that bad of a Monday in the market at least. So welcome out everyone. I'll be taking you through the Tackle Trading site here this evening, showing you around a little bit, letting you know a little bit about us, where you can find things, all of that fun stuff. As we're moving along, if you have any questions, of course, do feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them for you. We'll dive right in and get going. Looks like I got my chat function working, even fast for me. So it's usually about 2 minutes later. So let's dive right in here tonight. I'll break it into 3 core areas. We've got a lot of things that you can do on your own. That's going to be things like courses and blogs and tools and fun stuff like that. So that's going to be kind of one angle that we come at it. We've got a lot of live content that we're doing each and every day or week with our team. So I'll run you through our schedule and kind of what we're doing, when we're doing it, type of stuff. And then thirdly, I'll take you through our weekend reports where each week, we share, ideas on, different components of the market as a whole with members of our team. So that'll kind of be the angle that we come at it here this evening. So let's dive right in. Let's start with our courses. We do have several courses available to all of our pro members. And as a pro member, you'll have access to everything here at Tackle Trading with the sole exception of these 4 premium systems that you see down here. These are kind of, one-time purchasey things. The system is yours for life. Just to quickly let you know what they are, and if you want more information, you can send us an email or something. The Tackle 25 is a covered call-based system. To select group of stocks that we put together each year, specifically with the idea of selling covered calls against. The STEP system is our swing trading system, just standing for stop loss, target, entry, and position size. Cash flow condors is a cash flow system on the Russell 2000 index, and of course the bear market survival guide. Name probably gives it away, protecting ourselves in bearish market conditions. Once a month, we'll get together with members of those teams in a mastermind group. If you want a little more information on them, you can head into the store tab, send us an email, team@tackletrading.com. Ask about them in the clubhouse. Be happy to get you some more information. But those will be the only things that aren't available to you here at Tackle Trading as a pro member. We have our 7-step guide to trading. This is about a 2-hour course that kind of will, and it does a couple things. It kind of shows you the tackle trading way, if you will. You get 2 traders in a room and there's no way they're going to do everything the exact same, right? But I think, we do share a lot of similarities as a collective group of traders here. We believe in taking that top-down approach. We believe in matching the strategy to our read of the situation. We believe in prepping our trades, money management, managing of trades, all of that fun stuff. And we'll kind of walk you through that here in this 7-step guide to trading course. It's available to everybody. Pro member or not, you are more than welcome and love to have you take a few minutes to go through that 7-step guide to trading course. If you're new, it'll really help kind of get a little order to all of this stuff. If you're a vet, you'll probably already have a routine down that you're pretty comfortable with, but maybe you can get a couple ideas out of it nonetheless. So that's the 7-step guide to trading. Of course, as traders, technical analysis is our good friend, right? That's letting us know when we're doing things, how we're targeting them, how we're managing them, stop loss placement, risk reward, all of that fun stuff, right? I don't know how you could be a trader without technical analysis. This Technical Analysis 101 course will kind of take you through that charting, hopefully getting you a little bit more comfortable with, identifying those trends and those reversals and those patterns and all of those fun things that are associated with technical analysis. Beyond the actual course itself, over in the shows tab, you will find the Tackle 100 series live webinars. And in here, you'll find several recorded webinars, but specifically, you will find a 2-parter of Technical Analysis 101 that Coach Noah taught live for us a while back. He's just teaching the same concepts of that course, just in a little bit of a different format. Once upon a time, it was live, obviously. For us now, it is recorded. Each one of these, there's 2 of them, is about 2 hours long. So you're looking at about a 4-hour in total to work through that webinar, but very much worth the time, no matter who we are, right? We can always get better at charting. I've never met the trader that was 100% right 100% of the time. Probably never will, right? But that doesn't mean we won't try to get better every single day by any stretch. While we're in here, there's a swing trading webinar that Coach Matt did for us, kind of building on that technical analysis, setting up those entries, those stop losses, setting targets, trade, identification, all of that good stuff. A really great webinar. If you're interested in trading, would definitely check that one out. If you're interested in futures, Coach Grant's got a great futures webinar in here. There are also several step system webinars. As you can see, again, that's our swing trading system. If you think about kind of what trading is, we kind of go general and then we get specific, right? First, we learn what a breakout is. We learn what a bull flag is, right? We learn what a cup and handle is. And then we get specific. We implement rules. Okay, well, how do I trade a cup and handle breakout? How do I trade a bull flag? It might be a little different than you, right? And that's okay, right? Rules are, they vary, right? The important thing is we have them and we're consistent with them. If you've struggled with putting together some rules, this might be a really good place to start to get some ideas to establish some of those trading rules. You'll learn a lot in these little step system webinars. Would definitely check them out. We, of course, have a course on options. Options 101 will take you through those option contracts, those Greeks, what's moving those option contracts, why does that call option move around so much as the days going on, right? The more we understand about the movement of that contract, I think easier it's going to be for us to use whatever strategy it is that we're looking to use. I'll show you where you can find our strategies here in just a minute as well. But if you are new to options, this is a good place to start. Like I said, the better you understand that contract and the factors that influence its movement, I think the easier it will be whatever strategies you're trying to learn. If you've ever been interested in learning more about the futures or the currency market, there are introductions into those markets as well. A lot of traders are interested, but they can be a little intimidated. I know I was intimidated for a long time about futures. It's just a different market, right? Many of the same rules apply. It's got its own little things. I need to understand the leverage and all of that fun stuff. But I was probably a little more worried than I needed to be about it. So if you've ever been interested in learning a little bit more about either or both of those markets, these are great places to start, kind of walk you through the from beginning to end. So, they're not for everyone. Not everyone wants to trade Forex, or not everyone wants to trade futures. That's what I love about trading. We don't have to trade at all. We can trade what we like, right? There's lots of things for us to trade. No matter what it is that we're trading, though, we do need to have clear rules and systems in place, right? And this System Development 101 course is one I encourage everyone at Tackle Trading to work through. We need to train ourselves to think about trading from a systems point of view. It's not hard necessarily, but most of us, for whatever reason, our default setting, I don't think, is that. We need to think about our trading from a systematic perspective. This course should help you learn to think like that. I can't say enough nice things about this System Development course. It is really, really helpful, no matter what it is you like to trade or are interested in trading. I brought up our different strategies. We'll look at them here in just one moment, but before we do blog content each week, right? Not everything has to be a webinar. Not everything has to be, a course or a live show or something like that. These are going to be short reads, 5-ish minute type of things. Just another way to share ideas with our team, teach you some new tricks. You can expect them, content each week, whether it's more on charting and tales of technician, more on options over an option theory, taking concepts from the ground up and building them with Coach Greg over in the Rookie Corner, or hearing from our awesome female team members over in the Women in Trading blog. All of these are very much worth the time to read, I would say. Over in the Trade Center, you're going to have a link to our events calendar, a link to our journals, our trading glossary, and our playbook. I'm going to go ahead and hop into the playbook here. And this is where all of our strategies are and the rules for those strategies. We break our strategies into 3 core areas: Delta, Theta, and Vega, to match the option Greeks. Delta is direction, right? D for direction, movement-based trades, right? So when we buy stock, we're doing a delta trade. When we buy call or put options, we're doing a delta trade. So think movement when you hear delta. Then theta, the great thing about options is we can sell them and take advantage of the one thing we know for certain, and that's that today is going to pass, right? And because of that, options lose value to time. That's going to be things like selling covered calls, selling credit spreads, selling iron condors, naked puts, where we're selling those premiums up front and bringing in the credit. And then there's the vega or the volatility side of things. These are bidirectional type strategies, right? I expect movement, but I don't really have a bias. Think earnings, right? And earnings, you see, earnings are coming up on, company so-and-so, and maybe based on their history, you suspect they're going to move a lot one way or another, but how could you know which way they're going to move, right? So these are going to be volatility-based trades. In all of these, we'll have a video going over, what the strategy is, why we would choose that strategy, what are rules for the strategy, how much time would we be buying or selling, how much, what's our delta, all of that fun stuff, kind of walk you through the whole process. There's also a little cheat sheet download, so you have easy access to the rules if you need them. You will notice every one of them is somewhere between 0 and plus or minus 3, and that's just to kind of let you know, again, we want to match the strategy to our read of the situation, right? And so a +2 +3 would be pretty bullish. I expect this stock to move a pretty good chunk, whereas +1 would be slightly, right? I kind of use 0 as neutral and plus or minus 1 is slightly bullish or bearish. 2 or -2 is moderately bullish or bearish, and 3 or -3 is very, very bullish or bearish. That's just kind of the way I think about them, but just to kind of let you know. So we'll let you know where we kind of see this strategy in that side of things as well. So that is going to be the playbook. If you go directly into the Trade Center, it will take you to a what's up page at Tackle Trading, kind of what's our next show, our recent posts, our last report, most recent tweet, a little watch list if you want to build one for yourself, a replay or a live showing of one of our YouTube shows. There's us right now, where you are in any of the courses that you're doing, a little mini calendar to kind of let you know what the next few days are looking like. If you are interested in using this watch list, and you may or may not be, but it is kind of handy just to have some of the stocks you're following. All you'll do is you'll add the stock that you want right up in here. Say you wanted to add John Deere to go along with Caterpillar. I'm just going to left click it. That's going to highlight it blue. I'm going to hit that little plus button, and that will add it to my watch list. When I come back later, whenever that might be, these guys will still be here. If I want to get rid of them, same thing. I'll just left click, get it highlighted, hit that little minus, and that will get rid of it for you. You will find a variety of trader tools in here as well. You'll find a link to the market skyline. In here, you're going to find the charts for the different indexes, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the RUT, Bitcoin, the emerging market ETF, the major commodities, gold, silver, copper, oil, and the sector spider ETFs. So you can kind of follow along with the market. These are things that as traders, we probably should be following every day. Doesn't necessarily have to be on this page by any means, but we do need to follow along with the market. So you'll find all of those charts kind of in one easy to reach spot. You'll find a link to the finvis heat map here, so we can take that quick visual. Hey, what did the day look like in the market? This is free, so we will have to click an ad here and there, but we can kind of see what areas did well, what areas kind of struggled. So a little heat map tool there. Get rid of that. You'll find a news aggregator that's going to go through some of these bigger financial sites like the Times, Market Watch, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, and just kind of get the headlines, as you can kind of see here, in one easy place, so I can browse and click on whatever catches my attention, hopefully saving me a few clicks from going to a bunch of different websites. A link to the economic calendar, another link to our reports, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes, another link to our trade journals. If you go into the trade journals through here, and you can also download them, they're just in the little drop down there in the Trade Center. But if you come into it this way, there will be the video tutorial to kind of walk you through how to use that if you need that assistance. Nothing wrong with that. It is important that we're journaling our trades. You're doing yourself, in my opinion, a tremendous disservice if you're not journaling your trades. So this is very handy tool to help you identify what's working, what's not, what you need to change. It's a very important part of the process for sure. a link to the compounding gains calculator, another link to a chart if you ever need one, another link to the glossary, link to the search function, which is also this little magnifying glass looking thing right here. If you're ever looking for something, the search function is pretty smart. And so there's a good chance, earlier today, somebody asked me about the VIX. I'm not a VIX guy myself, but since they did, we'll just, look for the VIX. We'll come in and tell it to show us the results. And 6 tips for a high VIX and volatility, so lots of different things, very easy to find. Some information. Never hesitate to reach out to us if you're looking for something and can't find it. We're happy to do the heavy lifting. But a lot of times, the easiest thing to do is just do a quick search, and it'll find you exactly what you're looking for. Or in a lot of cases, lots of content on that particular subject. So that's going to be the Trade Center. Hopefully, it's designed to save you a bunch of clicks, right? Between the economic calendar, the news aggregator, all the charts in one location, instead of having to bounce around 9 different websites, hopefully saving us a little bit of time, because, I know that it's really easy to do a lot of bouncing around. So our Clubhouse is kind of our own personal social media. It's a place where we can get together, folks can ask questions, bounce ideas with one another, around with one another. Certainly invite you to join us over there. In the Clubhouse, we're active on all of the more traditional social medias as well. But the cool thing about the Clubhouse is it's just us, it's just trading. It's an easy place. If you got a question and maybe I've got a quick answer for you, or maybe I know somebody who does, or maybe I can go find it for you, and we can really work together to that end. So certainly invite you to join us over in the Clubhouse. Like I said, we're active on all of the different social media platforms as well. Obviously, we're here on YouTube. Beyond that, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Certainly invite you to join us. Any of those platforms that you're already using. We do a daily email. That's our Tackle Today email. If you don't get it and would like to, just need to come into the Tackle Trading and sign up. No big deal on that side. We will post it in here as well. It will get to your inbox faster, but we will post the write-up in here as well. If you prefer just to read it directly over here, for whatever reason, you can do that as well. So that's just some of the major things that you can kind of do on your own, at your own pace, that fit into your, if you're brand new, you might be doing things different than if you've been trading for a long time, right? If your number one interest is in trading options, that's probably where your focus is, where somebody else's number one interest might be in trading currencies, right? In a lot of ways, we can build our own tackle trading, and that's a really cool aspect of it, I think. So hopefully that does explain these courses, these blogs, the Trade Center, gives you a little more information about us from that perspective. We'll kind of shift gears and now talk a little bit about the schedule. We are pretty regimented, pretty consistent in our routine here, barring holidays and stuff like that. Don't vary too much. Let's start with our Traders Lounge. Every market morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, we get together in our Traders Lounge for an hour to answer our team's questions. They might be questions on managing a trade you've got going. They might be questions on technical analysis on a trade you're looking at. It might be about a strategy. Hey, I'm really struggling figuring out these credit spreads. It might be a question on routine. Who knows what yours or my questions will be, but I think it's pretty safe to say at some time or another, we'll all have them. And the lounge is specifically designed to focus on our team and the questions that they're having each and every day. That is 11 a.m. Eastern each market day. So effectively Monday through Friday, minus some holidays here and there. That is our one show that we don't record each and every episode, because quite frankly, no one's going to go back and watch the one from March 15th of last year, right? But with that said, we will record snippets. It's not a big deal for us to do that. So you'll find a lot of snippets or cuts in here on discussions that we're having over in the Traders Lounge. If your schedule is just never allows you to join the lounge live, if you're at work at 11 Eastern, for example, but you need some help, drop us a line, team@tackletrading.com. Let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate you. It's like I said, it's not a huge deal for us to get a little snippet and get that information for you. So, don't hesitate. If you need something from us, we are, always do our best to accommodate each and every one of our team members. So that's going to be each and every market day, 11 a.m. Eastern. Then we're going to head over to our YouTube channel a little bit after the lounge is over, and we're going to do the Tackle Trading Halftime Report at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, about the halfway point of the trading day, where we can take that live look in on the market, talk about what's going on today, how it is impacting our charts, the different components of the market, stocks in the news, really going through that daily market routine, right? Following along with the story that is the market. That is, of course, live over on our YouTube channel. Being on YouTube, of course, once the live stream is over, it will automatically populate to our channel. So if that's an inconvenient time, you can always watch it at a little bit more of a convenient time. So every market day, we'll be here with you in the lounge at 11 and then head over to YouTube at 12:30 to do the halftime report. So we'll be with our team each and every market day, no matter what else is going on in the world around us. Then we have our evening schedule. On Tuesday nights, we do our coaches show. I would say that's probably, our flagship show, if you will. That's where we can get together. We can take a quick look at the market with our team. Hey, we're a couple days into the trading week now. Is anything changed? Is anything standing out? We can take a quick look at the market. And what it really allows us to do, though, is take a concept and have an in-depth discussion on that. In the world of trading, there's a million little concepts, right? There's a lot of little things that we could talk about, from strategies to indicators to routine to finding trades to portfolio design to trading through earnings there's a million things that we could talk about, right? What the coaches show really allows us to do is take one of those many, many things and have a really in-depth discussion on that. It's a lot of fun, really informative. It is live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. It is recorded and archived. So if you can't join live, or if you just need to rewatch it, or if you want to watch an episode from 3 months ago, easy to do. You can find all of it directly there in that Coaches Show tab. That's on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays, we're over here on YouTube at 7 Eastern doing our Trade Master webinar, where a couple of the coaches will get together, bringing in some trade setups and just bounce them around with our team, share them with Coach Mark and the rest of Team Tackle. And at the end of it, Coach Mark will declare a winner, who setups, who trade ideas he liked the best. So just another way to talk trading with our team, share ideas with our team. It's a lot of fun. Definitely get some good trade setups in there as well. Live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Again, once the stream's over, it will automatically populate over to our channel. On Thursdays, again at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we do our Cash Flow Club. This is going to be a little more narrowly focused than our Coaches Show, focusing exclusively on those cash flow option strategies, on the covered calls, the credit spreads, the naked puts, the condors, right? Building and managing those cash flow based trades. Again, much like the Coaches Show, it is recorded and archived. So you can, if Thursday night's bad, or if you want to rewatch it, or if you need to catch the first 10 minutes because you were running behind, or if you're looking for something that we talked about 3 weeks ago, all of that will be directly there in that link. That is on Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern as well. Our Mind of a Trader kind of ends up being a couple of different things. And the best way to explain this one is to head over into the Trade Center, into the events calendar here. On Fridays, about an hour before the market closes, Coach Mark does his at the closing bell. So that'd be 3 p.m. Eastern on Fridays, where he does his commodity report live and just bounces some last minute ideas around with the team, right? Trade setups that they're following, that he's following, kind of early, game plan going into early next week, just, wrapping the week up, talking some trading as the market's winding down for the week. The easiest place to get into the Mind of Traders, because there's a couple, will be directly here in the events calendar. I know it's not right now, but if it were Friday at 3 Eastern and I wanted to join in, just come in here, click on this bad boy, and we'll get the information. We'll be able to join Coach Mark and the rest of the team over there. Coach Mark also does a weekend prep class on Sunday nights, a little bit after the futures market is opened, just to kind of go through, hey, as we're going into Monday, what's he looking at? Is the way the futures have behaved since the open changed his opinion of where the market is headed, things like that. That Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, again, You just can get the information to that or any show for that matter directly here in this events calendar. So that's going to be the Mind of a Trader. Typically, we're going to do the Friday afternoon one and the Sunday night one. And so it can be a little confusing, and the easiest way to get into them, I think at least, is the events calendar because of that. We have a tremendous team of female traders with us here at Tackle Trading. They get together about once a month in their Women in Trading Mastermind group. I don't get to go, not being a woman in trading, but I do know our team, and I know they're having a lot of fun over there and getting a lot of good work done. It tends to be towards the end of the month. We'll always promote it ahead of time. So if you're a woman in trading, or if you know a woman in trading, definitely extend the invitation to join the awesome ladies of Tackle Trading over there as well. So that's kind of the schedule, kind of, the way I kind of, in a nutshell, think about it is the lounge is for your questions, for our team's questions, to focus exclusively on whatever it is you need us to focus on. The halftime report is for the daily routine of following the market, staying on top of the market. And then our evening shows allow us to do some teaching, right? To go a little deeper in some of these topics and things like that. So that's kind of the way I tend to think about it. At least it kind of keeps it organized in my mind a little bit. So that's going to be the schedule. Like I said, the easiest way, if you are ever lost or confused or not sure when it starts or where the link to get into the darn thing is, just come into the Trade Center, into the events calendar, whatever you need to get into, click on it, and it'll get you set up so you are ready to rock and roll. So that's going to be the schedule. Now we'll kind of shift gears into our weekend reports. On Fridays, what we're doing as coaches is that we're getting together, we're talking markets, we're talking sectors, we're talking commodities, we're talking Forex, we're talking trade setups that we're following going into the next week, what we've seen, as we've been doing our scans going into the weekend. And out of that scouting report meeting, that's what we call that, comes our weekend reports, our scouting reports. That's going to be our tackle newsletter, our stock, options, commodity, and our Forex reports. You can expect all of these to get to you by Saturday afternoon, so you have plenty of time to go through any or all of them before the market opens back up. The tackle newsletter is starting at the top of the market, right? Step one in the 7-step guide to trading, according to us here at Tackle Trading, is, start at the top, take that top down approach. If you've taken that 7-step guide to trading course, you probably, know that already. You might've even noticed when we were just talking about it a little earlier. That's exactly what we're doing here in the newsletter. What's going on in the market right now? What are the storylines that are moving it? How is the market, digesting those storylines? Where are things at, right? What are the upcoming economic calendar events that might have an impact on the on our trading? For example, Wednesday we've got Fed meeting, right? It may or may not, but it certainly can have an impact on our trades. Of course, we'll have a video in depth talking you through this stuff. Where is the S&P 500? How are we seeing it as far as support and resistance goes? The ETFs for the indexes, if you need them, DIA tracks the Dow Jones, QQQ tracks the NASDAQ, IWM tracks the Russell, and of course, SPY tracks the S&P 500. Coach Gino's Arkham High-Low indicator that's looking at over 8,000 stocks, looking at the internals of the market to kind of see relative strength or weakness, right? Are we seeing things showing strength? Or are we seeing things showing weakness? The seasonality chart, what does the market do from a historic perspective at this point in time in the year, right? So we're in the middle of March. So in the middle of March, we historically kind of chop before we have a good run going into the early part of the summer or late spring, depending on where you live, probably. So doesn't mean it will happen again. Obviously, I wish it were that simple, but it does help to know, hey, what does the market historically do this time of year? Same with the sectors. What sectors tend to be the strongest from a historical perspective this month versus which ones tend to lag behind a little bit this month? So again, we don't want to overvalue the seasonality and the historic movement by any means, but it's also good information to have at the same time. Our rankings for the sectors will be in here, so you can kind of see what areas we like in the market, whether we like them a little more than last week, a little less than last week. As you can kind of see here, we put it on a football field. We also do kind of the minus, the 1, 2, 3, right, type of a deal. But unlike a stock, on a stock, it's not uncommon for me to be very bullish or very bearish on the setup. But on a whole sector or a whole market, it is very uncommon for us to be that aggressive here at Tackle Trading. You're not going to see a lot of plus or minus threes on the S&P 500 or on the energy sector, things like that. That's just a little more extreme than we generally are here. So that's kind of how that will work. So you can kind of get an idea of where our head is on these different sectors. Again, we'll talk you through kind of that perspective over in the video. This is just to give that quick visual of kind of where things at. And another friendly reminder to match our strategy to our read of the situation, right? If I'm really bullish on something, I'm going to trade it probably a little different than you who might just be slightly bullish on it, right? You might be doing a debit spread or, it's just rolling a nice, conservative credit spread. And I think this is going to have a huge pop. I might be doing a ratio spread on it, right? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm right. Maybe, in some ways we're both right or we're both wrong, but we do want to remember that. We want to remember to match the strategy to the situation that we find ourselves in. There is a pre-built scanner in here as well. So if any particular area has caught your attention, say energy has caught your attention, this will just bring you to another finvis page, is the pre-built scanner. These are what I call trader-friendly stocks. And all I mean when I say that is they've got great liquidity, they're optionable. Obviously, with options, you always need to go double check to make sure you're comfortable with the option liquidity. But these guys that we'll find in here all do have options. And as a whole, are fairly easy to trade with options most of the time. Again, you want to always double check that. You don't want to get stuck in an illiquid option. That's definitely no fun, but just an easy way for us to quickly browse through some stocks that in an area, in this case, we're in our example here, energy, that's kind of caught our attention, right? So we can just do a quick kind of scroll here, see if we see anything that we like. Obviously couldn't make a trade off of this, but probably could say, I think it might be worth taking a closer look at this MRO chart and go, actually take a look at it in my charting platform or, NOV or whatever has caught your attention. So just an easy way, if an area has caught your attention, but you don't, have a ton of stocks in your watch list, on stocks in that area. Obviously, this isn't going to be all of the energy stocks, but these are very liquid stocks, optionable stocks. Should be able to find a way to build a trade off of anything that I do like in here. I wouldn't expect that to be too much of a problem, whether it was through shares or the options themselves. So we'll have that as well. And that is going to be the newsletter. So it's really just taking that top-down approach, right? Looking into the market, where's it at? What are the storylines moving at? What does the economic calendar look like? Where's the relative strength? Where's the relative weakness? What does it, history tell us about this area and this time of year? That is going to be the newsletter. Coach Mark, as I mentioned early, does our commodity report live in his Mind of a Trader on Friday afternoons. You'll also find it in here if you can't join him, just kind of talking through both the technicals and the fundamentals of the world of commodities, like gold, oil, copper, palladium, right? All of that fun stuff, talking our team through that. Coach Cody typically does the Forex report for us, where he can highlight, trade setups within the major pairs. He does a lot of teaching over there as well. He does a lot of teaching about concepts and taking the step from okay, I kind of know what Forex is to actually taking actionable trades on it, if that is an area that interests you. He does a really good job not only highlighting what's going on this week, but also helping our team get a better handle on trading the currency market overall. Our stock and option report are built pretty similar to one another. We'll come into the stock report here first. Each week, we want to make sure you have some actionable trade ideas. Right, so we're going to have some trade setups for trades within the stock side of things and in the option side of things. There is a little bit of bleed over for sure, right? Just because it's in the stock report doesn't necessarily mean I couldn't trade options on it, but it might be tough to trade options. That might be why it's in the stock report. So if you do find something in the stock report that you like, but you wanted to do an option trade on it, what's the harm in checking liquidity? See what the options look like. If you're comfortable, great. If you're not, that's okay. We can always trade shares of the stock, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. But we're really going to be focusing in the stock report, purely on the technical side of things, right? And so we'll have our watch list. We'll of course have a video talking you through kind of what we're seeing as far as, potential, what do we need to see to get that signal, some stop loss ideas, targeting ideas, things like that. So we'll share a watch list with you each and every week. We'll always try to have both a bullish and a bearish watch list, even if we are, leaning one way or the other in the market. It's good practice to be ready to go the other way, because sometimes you do need to be able to do that. Beyond just the watch list itself, we'll always do a little teaching. This week we did a lot in both the stock and option report on different order types, how to use those order types, all of that fun stuff. A couple of weeks ago, Coach Greg was talking about different entry techniques. So we will do a lot of teaching in addition to that, but it's really built so you have some actual trade ideas going into the trading week. You don't have to like all of them. You don't have to like any of them. No one will ever make any of us trade something that we don't want to trade, but there's no wrong way to find a good quality trade setup, right? So just an easy way to go. If you're in here, a couple quick tricks within these embedded trading view charts. This right here will just hide the watch list and extend your chart, so you have a little bit more room to work with as far as that goes. Your tools are going to be over here on the left hand side. Your trend line tool is going to be this one right here. So that would be, say you're looking to maybe come out of this flag before we get into it, or maybe you want to see it break the horizontal resistance before you get into it. So your trend line tool, whether it's a trend line or horizontal line, it's going to be right here. To get rid of it, you'll just left click it and hit the trash button, and that'll get rid of it for you. Your longer short tool will be right here. So if I wanted to build a long position on this, and let's just say for the sake of ease and convenience, I've got an entry planned at 45.12. That's where I'm going to set my order up. Now I'm just going to hold my left mouse button down, and I'm going to zoom around like I'm doing right here. That's going to let me kind of get this chart set up the way I like it, right? I can kind of get it set up right. So I can say, okay, this is where I'd look to get in. I've got a target price in mind at $50, at least a first target price in mind at $50. I would put my stop at such and such price, maybe below today's low is kind of where I've got my stop loss, and I can kind of see what this trade looks like. This is risk to reward looks good. I'm risking $1 to get $2.92. I know I wasn't too super specific on this, but just wanted to kind of show you the tool. It kind of visualizes, help me see visually. Does this make sense for a stop? Does this make sense for a target? But honestly, the thing that saves me the most time is this risk to reward tool. So I use, yep, this makes sense. Because if my target price was $48, that's going to change things a lot, right? My risk to reward's not 2 to 1. And most swing traders, certainly all the swing traders I know, demand if I'm risking $1, I need to have expectations of 2 to get back. And so I can see that risk to reward's just not there. And that's okay. If I want to bring my time frame, change my time frame, there are a couple defaults: the 1 minute, the 30 minute, the hourly. The default chart is that we're on right now is the daily. This drop down will allow you to choose other time frames. Maybe you wanted to look at the weekly chart. Is there any resistance here that I need to be overly concerned about? Maybe you wanted to go into an hourly chart to see if there was some intraday stuff you could do with your stop loss. So your time frame will be right there. Your indicators are right here, right in this FX here. One thing to note is, let's say I go, this is typically all I do on these charts, here is go to average true range, because I use that a lot for, my, how I get into things personally. I'll just add it. It'll get it set up for me. You can kind of hover your mouse over the barrier between the volume bar and the indicator that you've selected, and you can scrunch it down or zoom it up, whatever you need to do. One note though, this isn't going to save. So when I leave this page, this is going to be gone. My indicator is going to be gone, right? So don't, just be aware before you get too terribly crazy in here, adding 7 indicators or something like that. It will not save. We will have to add them back when we come back in. But just an easy way to kind of work through, get some trade ideas going into the week. Now we're into the week. I can kind of work through, see, is there anything here that I might be interested in setting up a trade up, going into tomorrow? Hey, like this ESI is a potential breakout, or I like this HBI still, or whatever it is, right? Again, never a bad way to find a good quality quality trade setup, and that's what we want to share with our team. So that's going to be the stock report. The option report will be built very similar in the sense that we'll have the little write-up. We'll always do a little teaching. We'll have a video. We'll have the bullish list, the bearish list, all of that fun stuff. We'll talk, obviously, in the options report, we're going to talk not just the technicals, but we're also going to talk about strategy selection, right? Based off of the stock's personality, the price of the options, all of that fun stuff. This might be a scenario where a bull call would make a little more sense than a bull put, for example. So we'll kind of talk not just about the technicals and the trade setup itself, but also selecting strategies. Again, you may not agree with the strategy, but we kind of want to get people thinking like that, right? So we'll be doing a little bit about that in the option report. Unlike the stock report, where if you find something in the stock report and you want to trade options, you do need to double check. You don't want to get stuck in an illiquid option. If you've never done it, do yourself a favor and don't do it. It's not any fun at all. So if you've done it, you don't need me to tell you not to do it again, right? But on the other end of it, if you find something in the option report, but you aren't an option trader, or you would just prefer to trade it with stock for whatever reason, that's never going to be a problem. It's going to be really easy to trade, things in the option report with shares of the stock. So just kind of a note to give you some ideas more than anything else. Like I said, we'll get all of these to you on Saturday before, plenty of time before the market opens back up, so you can, work through any or all of them. My advice is start at the top of the market. Start with that newsletter, take that overall perspective, and then prioritize, right? If I'm primarily an equity guy, primarily, stock and options, trading companies. I naturally kind of focus on the stock and option report. They're kind of my top priorities going into each week. Doesn't make me anything other than me. Not right, not wrong, not good, not bad. Just that's who I am, right? If you're primarily trading in the currency market, you're probably going to prioritize the Forex report, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. So don't be afraid to prioritize. It's better to do a great job with one than a so-so job with four, right? But we do want to make sure that we have actionable ideas in all of these areas for our team each and every week going into the market. So that is going to be our reports. Just a couple of other things, and then I can let you get out of here this evening if you don't have any questions. Like I said, we're active on all of the major social media platforms. We'd certainly invite you to join us. Well, we're, of course, live on YouTube right now, and that's where we do our halftime report. We also have a lot of other YouTube content. We have a lot of how-tos, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of Thinkorswim tutorials, and we're always doing more videos. So certainly, if you like what you're seeing at Tackle Trading, don't be afraid to subscribe and all of that fun stuff to our YouTube channel. We have a Facebook group. If you're a Facebook user, there is a Facebook group of Tackle Trading community that will talk trading with one another. I'm a Twitter guy myself. And so, if you're ever looking for me, you can find me at FrankMartin23 on Twitter. I also do a lot for the Tackle Trading Twitter, where I can kind of share different charts that I find during the day, upcoming earnings, top gainers and losers, all of that good stuff. Certainly invite you to join me over there. So, like I said earlier, if you don't use a platform, that's fine. No one's going to get me to probably use Facebook, if I'm being completely honest. They've tried before, but I use Twitter, and I'm happy to engage with other, traders over on Twitter. That's kind of the way that I see it. You will find the Huddle podcast. The Huddle is right up here. Just a quick top five stories in the market. Each and every morning, we'll get this for you here and let you know what the top stories of the market are. That's just a quick listen. If you want the podcast, you can download it over here. It's available on all of the major providers. You will also find the Trading Justice podcast on either tradingjustice.com or any of the major podcast providers. Each week, Matt, Tim, and Mark do the Trading Justice podcast. It's very informative, a lot of fun. Definitely worth listening to. You can, if you're like me and don't do the podcast thing, you can just listen to it right over on tradingjustice.com, which is what I do. I think lots of people do the podcast thing and listen to it, at their favorite podcast provider. I don't even know really how that, works. So I'm old school, I suppose, but definitely worth checking out. There's also a monthly newsletter over on tradingjustice.com. Always a really good read as well. Again, that's just tradingjustice.com, where you can find that information. If you ever have any questions, if you ever need anything, never hesitate to send us an email, team@tackletrading.com. Get in the clubhouse and ask in one of our shows, hit me up on Twitter, hit the group up over on Facebook. Never hesitate to reach out. We're a team here. Nobody can make our trades for us, but we can have each other's back. We can answer each other's questions. We can share ideas with one another. That's what I love about the market. We're all on the same side, right? We're not fighting one another. I want to see everyone succeed. I'm good with that. That makes me happy. So, never hesitate to reach out if you do need anything from us. That's exactly what we're here for. If you ever want any more information on any of our other products, like the step system or Tackle 25 or whatever the case might be, you can find that information over in the store tab as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is everything I wanted to go over with you this evening. I hope it gave you a better idea of kind of what we're doing here at Tackle Trading, where you can find it, what we're about, all of that fun stuff. I hope it was helpful and worth your time this evening. I certainly do appreciate your time, whether you're joining me live or catching the replay a little bit later. I will certainly see you all around. You'll see me on Twitter. You'll see me in the clubhouse. You'll see me on Fridays in the halftime report. You'll see me popping into the other shows. So this is by no means goodbye. This is just good evening to you. But I want to welcome you to Tackle Trading. It's great to have you here with us. Appreciate you looking into us, and I hope the market is treating you right. Great. It's a great time to be a trader. That's for sure. The markets have been pretty good as of late. No complaints there, right? So trade smart, trade within your systems and reach out to your team. You got people that got your back, and if you need something, don't hesitate to let us know, whether it's me, the other coaches, other members of our team. Everybody's on the same page here at Tackle Trading. We might do things, our own way, and all have our own styles and all of that, but we all want to see one another succeed. That, is certainly not ever in doubt. So thank you so much for your time tonight. I'll let you get out of here. Probably the best thing, Damon, probably is just to go to the team at Tackle Trading email, my friend. So if there's something specific, then, we can, relay it to them, but probably the best way would be to do that. Is just, emails over at Team at Tackle. And then if there is something specific, we can kind of be middleman, if you will. So don't hesitate if you need to by any means, though. And good to see you, my friend. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate it. It's been my pleasure hanging out with you. Welcome to Tackle Trading. Great to have you with us. Have a great rest of the week in the market. Have a great Monday night. And I will see you all one way or another in the not too distant future. I'm sure of it. So thanks, everyone. You have a wonderful night.